Dr. Michael O'Neill versus Olivia Looney, 2500794. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Agnes on behalf of the plaintiff. The plaintiff is also on Zoom with us this morning, Dr. Michael O'Neill.
Okay, thank you. And
Miss Looney is also here as well. She can say hello.
yes, all right, I'm just trying to get to the note section here. Hold on just for a moment. Okay, and so counsel, the three of you were in a breakout room, and has there been a resolution?
We were unable to reach a resolution. Miss Looney does not have any money to pay. I let her speak for whatever she wants to say at this point, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and so Miss Looney, oh my goodness, I need to, counsel, how much does Miss Looney owe?
She owes $3,600 in rent, and there's other including utilities and some late fees of $4,903.93, plus $84 in costs, with the total being $8,587.93.
Okay, what are the other costs that you're referencing?
No problem. It's late fees and utilities. The landlord pays all the utilities and was supposed to be reimbursed by the tenant.
Okay, and how much are late fees?
I have them combined. Dr. O'Neill, do you have that number?
The balance with no late fees is $88,260. Late fees as of today, $2,250. That brings the balance to $10,510. But with just utilities and just rent,
$2,250.
well, it's just the agreement was $25 a day, and that's how long it's been. So even if we waive those and we're just talking about utilities and rent, we're at $8,260.
So how much are the utilities, Dr. O'Neill?
No, excuse me. I'm on the late fees. I'm not on the utilities right now.
Okay.
Did you say $25 per day?
That was the agreement if you were late. But like I said, I'm not really worried about that. The utilities and the rent are $8,260.
So if somebody was 1 month behind, that's $750 in late fees.
That's what the lease would say, Your Honor.
I understand that the court does not find that that's equitable at all, and the court is not going to order that amount of late fees.
We offered to waive everything, Your Honor. We just wanted
tell me how much the monthly rent is, please.
$1,200.
Yeah.
$1,200 per month. When's the last time Miss Looney paid rent?
February of 2025.
Okay, so March, April, May is $3,600. Okay? And so what are the utilities?
In February, it was $1,606.29. In March, it was $1,248.72. In April, it was $923.92. And May, it was $881.40. Bringing the total of $4,660.33.
Is this a business?
What's that? This is a house next door to a business, and this is not something I'm not a typical residential landlord. We are trying to help Miss Looney out.
Like what? $1,606 for utilities?
It looks like in February, yes, and it continues to go down.
Dr. O'Neill, explain what utilities that's included in the $1,600.
That is gas, electrical, water, internet. I guess all of the Wyandotte municipal. But yes, that's correct. And it looks like that's the highest one ever that we've ever had. And they mostly were averaging closer to the 1,000 range. Like it went down to 1,200 the very next month, 900 the next month, 800 the next month. So it looks like that was the most gas, perhaps. I'm not certain, but yeah, that's the highest one we've ever had.
That's why I was wondering if it was a business, because I've never seen a $1,600 utility bill, even with all those.
Like I said, that was internet, electrical, gas, and water combined.
I understand that. I understand that. Did you provide copies of the invoices to Ms.
Yes.
Lee?
Yes, always.
And so did you, counsel, did you attach any of those to your complaint, please?
I did not, but if you would like us to do that, I guess
Miss Looney's had every bill, and we've even offered previous bills from future years that she could look at to compare. I agree. It does seem high, but I also, it is what it is. I mean, I can't control the utility bill.
I understand that, but was there any investigation to determine if there was a leak or somehow bills got combined with something? I mean, I've never seen that on a house. That's why I was asking. I'm not suggesting that that's not the bill you received. But again, that's what I thought maybe better business. So Ms. Looney, why did you stop making your payments?
I had fallen behind because of Christmas, and I was a single mom at the time. I have 3 kids, and Mike had told me as long as I caught up on everything that I would be good to stay here, and he said he was selling the place and blah, blah, blah. So I borrowed the money from my dad to get caught up. And as soon as I got my taxes, I had to give him everything that I had for my taxes. And then he proceeded to tell me that as soon as the lease was up, I had to move. So I'm 7 months pregnant. I have 3 kids, and then I'm a waitress. I have no credit. I started freaking out because how am I going to get into somewhere else? Because everywhere I've applied to, you have to have at least a credit score of 610 or to 650. So I'm like, I can't pay the bills here because my utility bill alone is insane, and have the money to move out.
Okay, well, ma'am, okay, you got behind because of Christmas. Well, I can understand that you have kids and there's Christmas, but, perhaps.
And my utility bill was crazy, and I've frozen this
Excuse
house
me,
all
ma'am, I'm
winter.
speaking. Ms. Looney, I'm speaking. Please do not interrupt me while I'm speaking. But perhaps Christmas needed to look a little bit different if you didn't have the funds to make your rent payment. Is your $1,606, is that February utility bill, does that include any past due amount?
No, it does not. And I have told Mike multiple times during the winter time that the house was freezing. So I'm paying $1,200, and me and my kids are freezing in this house, and nothing was investigated. Nothing. I sent him the thermostat. I'd have my thermostat on 70 something, and then it would be 50 something degrees in my house.
So did you have anybody come out to look at the issue?
Did I have anybody come out?
Yes.
No, because the utility bills were not allowed to be in my name.
So did you ask your landlord to have somebody come out?
He told me to get stuff to put on the doors to block the stuff from
That was
coming.
my question.
No, he did not have anybody come out.
Did you ask your landlord to have somebody come out?
I did not specifically say, can you have somebody come out? I had told him that the house was cold multiple times.
Okay, well, perhaps you should.
I've
You should
fixed
have somebody
anything.
come out to check it out, see what was going on. Yes, Mr. O'Neill?
I just was saying, I'm happy to bring anything up to speed that was insufficient. I always have, and happy to. She was welcome to call anyone she wanted at any time. She called me for a plumber thing once, and I said, I don't even have time to fix that. It sounds like it's just the guts. If you could have somebody replace that, I'd be happy to cover the cost of the labor and the materials. There's just wasn't great communication on that. And I think probably not great maintenance on your current like thermostat, furnace, or windows, or whatever it is that's causing this high fee. But like I said, I don't have any control over the utility bills and would have been happy to help. I helped her for years. There was consistently late payments since early on in this relationship, and I've always waived late fees. I've never to this day charged a late fee. I've always let things go until they just build up. And she had her dad kind of pay off about $5,000 worth of late fees, or not late fees, but just rent and utilities. And then I said we couldn't let this happen again. It immediately started happening again. I said we're gonna have to end this relationship. And
When you say relationship, Mr. O'Neill, when you say relationship, do you mean landlord?
I mean this rental relationship is a renter. I can't have this renter. He can't have you here anymore. I'm sorry, but we have to receive payment. We can't, and we've been continuing to pay all these utilities. So all these payments you're seeing at $46.60, we've covered those. I've just paid those personally just to keep them on.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, Ms. Looney.
I did not fall behind again until he told me I had to move out. So that is false. After my dad helped me pay that, and I had paid him back with my taxes, I paid every month after that and did not fall behind until he told me that I couldn't live here anymore. And then I didn't understand how I was supposed to make those payments and pay for somewhere else to move into.
Ma'am, I can assure you of this. Even if you have somewhere else you need to move, you don't get to live there for free.
I understand that, but had he let me have the utility bills in my name, I could have gotten help from the state as well for that, my utility bills being more than my rent. I can't get help when they're in his name.
She never asked, not even a single time.
Like
to have her
before I
utilities
moved in, I did, and you told me that I couldn't, and I don't even want to say on the record why you told me I couldn't.
You're more than welcome to say anything you want here.
Okay,
There's
because
just
you
not
didn't want the
not
city
truth.
to know that you were renting the house out to me.
It was
That was like an undercover thing.
it was not an undercover thing. There's not one thing that's
Like
completely
I have text messages of you telling me.
Pause. I'm not having this back and forth on my record. Not having this back and forth on the record here. So I'm going to say this, that the amount due and owing without late fees is $82.60. The court will order $75 per month for late fees. The court's not doing $25 per day. And so that's March, April, and May. That's 3 months worth. So that's $225. So that's $8,485. And how much are the court costs, counsel?
$84.
So the court's going to order $8,569 of what's due and owing. The court does not have any, there's not a legal basis to why this court should not enter this judgment. Ma'am, you do understand all of your rights that you've received in your packet of information, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, did you read those? Where you know you have the right
Yes,
to attorney?
I read it before I got on here.
Okay, and so you understand you have the right to request rental assistance, you have the right to have an attorney, and that you have not availed yourself of either one of those, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you're not looking for any of that, is that also correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, well, the court's going to then indicate after hearing judgment to enter the amount of $8,485. Writ date
June 10th.
June 10th.
Judge, I
Wait,
know
so I have to pay $8,000 by June 10th? Is that what you're telling me?
if you want to stay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What do you
Judge,
want to see, Council?
I know the rent, can you give me the numbers again for the utilities that you're approving so I can get to the right number when I put it in the judgment?
So $1,200 per month for rent.
Yeah,
3
that I-
months,
that I got.
Which is $3,600. Council, I'm making a record, so I'm going through the whole thing.
Sorry.
$1,200 per month for rent. 3 months has not been paid. March, April, and May, so that totals $3,600. $1,606.29 for February utilities. $1,248.72 for March utilities. $923.92 for April utilities. $881.40 for May utilities, for a total of $4,660.33. Plus late fees of $75 per month for March, April, and May, totaling $225, and then the $84 in court costs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And, was there personal, did you request a money judgment, Council?
I did not.
Okay, so no money judgment. All right, the court will note after hearing that plaintiff is entitled to recover possession of the property. The amount now due and owing for unpaid rent and other costs is $8,485. No, I'm sorry, $8,569. That previous amount was without court costs. If that amount is not paid or defense settled out on before June 10th, plaintiff applies for an order evicting the defendant. Additional money may be owed if damage to property occurs or rent continues to accrue. Partial payment will not prevent the court from issuing an order evicting the defendant, and no money judgment will enter at this time. The court will send it upon receipt. Good luck to you.
I
Thank
can't, hold on, I'm not, so what's the date I have to be out? I can't hear you.
June 10th.
Okay, and then the court costs and stuff, how do I go about doing that? On a payment plan or something?
No, they're not paid to the court. They're paid to the landlord. The amount that's due is paid to the landlord.
Because that was already paid.
Okay, so I worked something out with him?
Yes, if you want.
Okay, and then if I don't?
He'll have to file a separate action to collect the money from you.
Okay,
Okay?
yep.
All right, good luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.